that passed last month. Fox's Madeline Rivera is live in New Jersey covering this story. Maddie, the program is off to a smoother start this time around, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Daytona, and that slower start is by design. You may remember a lot of people criticized the Paycheck Protection Program back in the spring for supposedly favoring larger borrowers. Now there are different requirements. Under new guidelines from the Small Business Administration, the program initially prioritized lenders who specialize in working with Black and minority-owned businesses. The program opened for all participating lenders on Tuesday, but borrowers who need a second loan need to show a 25% drop in gross receipts compared to similar quarters in 2019 and 2020. The second loans are also only open to businesses with 300 or fewer workers. The SBA says roughly 60,000 applications were approved for more than $5 billion in forgivable loans. The loans, which are backed by the federal government, convert to grants if borrowers follow guidelines, including using funds to mainly cover payroll. One business owner in Wilmington, Delaware, who applied for a second round, says the loan gives her hope in the middle of a bleak economic outlook.
It could be 2 years before things go back to normal, before people go back to work, before the city turns back on again. So I think we have to figure out a way to make these resources last as long as possible.
And business owners can apply for the program until March 31st. Daytona.
Now, I'm curious, Maddie, obviously we're keeping our eyes on this new COVID-19 stimulus package. This one, we're just finally reaping the rewards of that with this PPP program. Do we know how the new one that is proposed as of right now would be affecting small businesses? Is that released yet?
I have to follow up on that, Daytona, but this is crucial for small business owners. They say any help is crucial for them right now. You know, obviously the pandemic has closed a lot of businesses down. A recent survey last year said that 1 in 3 businesses have a pretty bleak outlook on the economy. So they say that this is really crucial in helping them keep their doors open so that way they can continue to function, so that way they can continue to keep people on their payroll. So, you know, anything helps at this point is pretty much the message that I've been getting from most business owners, if not all business owners, Daytona.
I'm just curious too, you know, what's the tone of these business owners at this point in time? I know personally, COVID, there's fatigue there. We were talking about that right before the holidays, and I can only imagine these small businesses that have really been put through the ringer right now. The business owners you talk to, I'm sure you ask them more questions. What are they saying? How are they doing right now?
I mean, it's tough for them. You know, this is a tough period of time in general, even without the pandemic. With the slower winter months, people don't usually like to go out of their homes. And now, of course, with the restrictions that a lot of these businesses have to face, you know, we were just in Wilmington, Delaware, and there, a lot of the restaurants have to face about a 30% restriction. They can only have about 30% of people in their businesses, in their restaurants. So, you know, that's tough for them. A lot of them are still hitting the red, even though they might have had some busier times with people coming in to cover the Biden campaign. They say it still is not where they would have been in normal times, you know, so they're not meeting the goal that they need in order to keep things going. They're just losing money. So they say anything helps. So it's really a sad time for them and really just tough for all businesses around Daytona.
Yeah, and I know you're in New Jersey specifically. Is there any light at the end of the tunnel for small businesses in New Jersey? We heard a little bit from Governor Murphy earlier this morning for his daily address, but what about there?
It's pretty much the same story all around. You know, they're just making it through day by day, and that's why these PPP loans will be so crucial for these businesses in order to get through. Again, anything helps. So, yeah, I think it really is the same whether you go from one city to another. It's just a bleak outlook, especially with the winter months and just the slower pace of traffic. So anything helps, Daytona.
Okay, great. We'll be keeping an eye on this COVID package and the next one, too. Madeline Rivera in New Jersey for us. We appreciate you being with us.
Thanks, Daytona.
And again, just bringing you the latest here on News Now when it comes to coronavirus. Before we went out to Madeline Rivera, we